You're tuned to the best newscast in Indiana on Wish TV, Channel 8. This is News 8 with Mike Ahern, Debbie Knox, weather with Stan Wood, and sports with Ed Harding.
Good evening. Governor Robert Orr used harsh terms this evening, predicting a future economic disaster unless public education in Indiana is improved.
Jim Scheller, in his annual State of the State address, Orr told a statewide television audience that better schools are important enough to warrant higher taxes. Jim Scheller is back from the State House with news of what may prove to be a very unpopular address. Jim?
Debbie, at the risk of being overdramatic, the governor tonight compared the task facing the state legislature to that of the Constitutional Convention 200 years ago. Before the governor arrived in front of a joint session of the General Assembly, each legislator received a copy of the book, The Reckoning, each with a personal inscription from the governor. It's a book that Orr says spells out the need for changes in public education. Then Orr arrived in the chamber and started out on a somber note.
I come before you tonight with a message more serious than any of my past 6.
He told legislators that he is ignoring political advice and the risk of defeat to propose an ambitious education reform plan featuring a longer school year and a sales tax increase to pay for it.
Only 2 states in the entire country have a school year shorter than our 175 days. And when you take into account that Indiana schools aren't required to make up snow days, it means that we have the shortest school year in America. That is intolerable. It doesn't...
Despite the applause, the governor's reviews were far from rave, either from fellow Republicans.
I guess my preference would be to have other methods of funding than the present expansion of the sales tax base.
Or opposition Democrats.
I think we first must determine whether those programs can produce results. Then we would look at whether a tax increase is necessary.
And if there's any doubt that Orr's proposal is politically risky, just note that future gubernatorial hopeful John Mutz is never mentioned in connection with it. The only notice the lieutenant governor received in the speech had to do with bringing the Fuji Isuzu project to Lafayette.
John Mutz is to be highly commended for his diligent and winning effort on this project and so many others. Thank you, John.
It was an address that was Bob Orr's most serious, bearing goals that may well be his most difficult to achieve. No one is declaring the education and tax program dead at this point. But while Orr is asking that no changes be made in it, most legislators agree that the best hope is for some sort of compromise package.
I have a question. Who paid for those books?
I am told that Robert Orr bought those with his own money, 150 books that he got for a total price of about $2,000. And the personal inscriptions in there, I'm told, were very personal. Mike Phillips wouldn't share his with reporters. He said it was very personal and also very flattering.
Okay. Jim Scheller reporting. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jim. Well, if the governor is to make any headway in his education proposals, he'll have to have the support at least of those legislators who happen to be teachers in their regular jobs. Tonight, News 8's Mark Voigtman talked to a few of those teacher legislators about the governor's speech.
The teacher vote in the General Assembly is considerable. Take, for example, the State House of Representatives. One of the most prominent teachers is the Republican Majority Leader, Richard Dellinger, who also happens to teach at Noblesville High School. He supports the governor.
We have to instill, I think, in our students the fact that just enough to get by is no longer enough.
The House sponsor of the governor's bill is another teacher, Republican Stephen Gabbett. He says it's become all too obvious that Indiana and the nation are falling behind educationally.
I fail to see in the educational system that we have now any kind of structure that really organizes an attempt to improve or move toward excellence inside of the educational system.
Democratic teacher legislators like Earlene Rogers agree in principle, if not with every detail.
I do think that some of the proposals perhaps need to be changed or perhaps others added, but I certainly support the fact that we in Indiana need to do more for our schools.
Republican teacher Barbara Engel is against the governor's call for a longer school year.
mandating them to go is not going to force them to learn. You know, it's kind of like getting the donkey to drink. You've got to get his attention first, and that's kind of the students. You can't force them to do something they don't want to do.
Democratic teacher David Cheatham questions if the situation is really an emergency, as the governor suggests.
The dangers are there, you know, they're real, and we can't neglect the future and the education of our state. Yet, I think we can overreact at the same time. You know, we're not in as bad shape as we think we are in some areas.
Of course, teachers are not the only legislators. Lawyers and business people will have a few things to say about the governor's plan as well. Mark Voigtman at the state capitol, Wish TV, News 8.
And the teachers who aren't legislators have a plan for education reform as well. Today, the State Teachers Association outlined a $500 million proposal that parallels Governor Orr's version, except in two major areas. For one, the ISTA opposes a longer school year.
There's no proof that a longer school year actually brings about quality. That's a quantity program.
And the second discrepancy involves how to pay for the education reform. The governor wants to broaden the sales tax base. The State Teachers Association favors an increase in the Indiana income tax from 3% to 4%.
We'll be back with more news for you right after this.
Sunshine Promotions takes the first step in getting approval for an amphitheater in Marion County. I'm Liz Daly. I'll tell you about that coming up.
What's the funniest way to start off the new year?
I know this.
They're the new Hollywood Squares. Weeknights at 7:30 on Wish TV.
Two identical broken arms. The arm on the left had ordinary insurance. For his x-rays and hospital treatment, there were painful co-payments. The right arm had Health Plus HMO. He was covered completely. The left arm had co-payments for follow-up doctor visits. The right arm was totally covered. Both arms healed perfectly, but the left arm ended up broke. Ask your employer about Health Plus HMO. If you don't, well, that's the breaks.
In search of the perfect combination of tastes, some hamburger places will try anything. Well, at Hardee's, we found it. Introducing the new Mushroom and Swiss Burger, our 100% American beef patty, 2 slices of Swiss cheese, mushrooms, and sauce. The new Mushroom and Swiss Burger, only from Hardee's. If only every combination worked as well. Hardee's, a little closer to home.
A man is in custody in Puerto Rico tonight, charged with 96 counts of murder, the result of the fire that struck the DuPont Plaza Hotel on New Year's Eve. Investigators say Hector Escudero Aponte was arrested in San Juan for deliberately setting the blaze, the second deadliest fire in U.S. history. Aponte reportedly signed a sworn statement admitting that he started the fire by lighting a can of sterno fuel on top of a stack of furniture boxes in the hotel's ballroom. Police say they plan to arrest 2 more individuals, men they are hunting tonight.
There has been a major breach of national security at the American Embassy in Moscow. It's believed that Sergeant Clayton J. Lonetree allowed KGB agents into both embassies to steal top-secret documents and place bugs or listening devices in the offices of senior diplomats. Reliable intelligence sources say Lonetree's case was right out of a cheap spy novel. He fell in love with a Russian girl who worked for the Moscow embassy. Sergeant Lonetree is currently being held at the Quantico Marine Base in Virginia, and next month will go before a Marine grand jury to face charges of espionage. Polish leader Wojciech Jaruzelski today met privately at the Vatican with Pope John Paul for wide-ranging talks. Jaruzelski later hinted that he invited the pontiff to make an official visit to his homeland this year. Today's meeting was described as historic.
It is late this summer that we may hear concerts at an outdoor performing arts center in Marion County. Tonight, Sunshine Promotions confirmed plans to build an amphitheater on 86th Street in Pike Township, after twice being denied a similar project near Westfield in Hamilton County. As Liz Daly tells us, the wheels are in motion.
It's being called the Indianapolis Performing Arts Center and will cost $10 million to build. But this time around, Sunshine Promotions thinks its chances are better.
The city, who've encouraged us to bring this project to Marion County will help us.
Steve Sebesma admits he's received some negative responses to the project, but he's gotten just as many from those who are happy to see attempts at preserving the land rather than turning it into apartments and condominiums. The interstate will help control traffic congestion, and noise should not be a problem either.
There's a lot of trees and woods there that will give a buffer for the noise. The stage is located facing the east, and all the sound will be directed toward the industrial area.
This amphitheater is being modeled after similar facilities in Cleveland, Ohio and Nashville, Tennessee, offering pavilion and lawn seating for up to 18,000 people. The first obstacle to overcome, however, is getting the city's Metropolitan Development Commission to change its plans of turning the land into residential property. One councilman says it's possible.
If good presentations are made and good commitments are made to protect the people from some of the problems.
Tomorrow morning, attorneys for Sunshine Promotions will file a request for a hearing before the Metropolitan Development Commission. They expect to be able to present their amphitheater proposal to the commission sometime in March. Liz Daly, Wish TV, News 8.
Well, whether that amphitheater is built or not, the climate for more conventional real estate in Indianapolis is very optimistic. Home and land sellers held their annual forecast session today and reported $1 billion in sales in Indianapolis in 1986, with an even brighter future expected. The credit goes to low interest rates and the reasonable home prices in the city.
Owning a home, of course, is the American dream, but having a steady income is a certain requirement to fulfill that goal. If you're looking for work, you might consider using Channel 8's Job Track.
Hi, my name is George Rathburn. I have computer knowledge. I can do physical labor of any kind, and I am seeking employment, and I thank you for your support. Thank you.
For more information, call the Indiana Employment Security Division at 232-JOBS.
As you can see, Phil and I went to Hawaii for our 30th anniversary. We had a lovely time and brought back many pictures, including some of Phil in a bathing suit. Anyway, a lot more of you have been expressing your preference for First Indiana, and that's very good because we like them, and we think you will too. With all their attention to detail, it's no wonder. Well, we'll keep you posted on First Indiana, and if anybody knows where we can get tickets to the 500, please let us know.
First Indiana, the bank for achievers.
If you're going to come play in Florida, you better know Florida rules. In Florida, you can't carry a wristwatch without a permit. You're required to find a shirt that you wouldn't be caught dead in and buy it. And you must get suntanned in a place you've never been tanned before. Now don't argue. This is Florida. The rules are different here. Oh, at least once in Florida you have to watch the sunrise. Then go to sleep. We like to see you smile, that feeling, good feeling, that smile on your face.
You're right, kid. I may be new at this, but I'm catching on fast. And when I don't know the answers, I just ask someone who does.
Nothing's more important than your good health. So don't hesitate to ask Hooks for answers to your health care questions. We're here to help.
We like to see you smile.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
St. Vincent Stress Center.
Our January heat wave hasn't diminished the presence of a unique snow sculpture that sits on the steps of the Heron School of Art downtown. A 12-foot-long, 5-foot-high dinosaur sculpted by student Deborah Pohl and two friends last Friday still stands, defying the sunshine. Pohl may do more, she says, if Stan can lure Old Man Winter back to central Indiana. And the invitation is open there.
Oh, boy. Sunshine, we have a sort of a dinosaur itself. We haven't seen that in a long
Guess the pressure's on me to save that dinosaur's life. Well, if he can hang on a couple more days, we're going to get back to more January-like situation. Matter of fact, late toward the weekend, the first major polar air dump is coming down from central Canada into the north-central U.S. So hang on, dinosaur. You may make it after all. Otherwise, you'll be just a puddle out there. Right now, under clear skies, it's a very pleasant 38 degrees at the airport, 39 in the Circle City, dew point at 33 degrees, relative humidity 82%. We have a light south breeze at 8 miles per hour, barometric pressure steady the past hour at 29.98 inches of mercury, and no precipitation echoes showing on Wish TV's own Storm Search Doppler radar. These were the afternoon maximum readings. The normal high in Indianapolis would have been 34. We were 11 above that, 45. Look at that, 62 degrees down at Paducah, 57 and at Louisville and other areas of the Bluegrass, 40s in the rest of this survey district. Well, it's still January out there, although you couldn't tell it by our present reading of 38 degrees. High, thin clouds at from 20 to 25,000 feet have asserted themselves in the sky here and there over the travel area, but there's no precipitation. There's still a lot of bright starshine and full moon to take a look at. The roving thermometer visiting at Hayden, the community down in Jennings County, returns a reading of this hour of 39 degrees. It is mild in Hayden, Indiana. Well, we can show you with our super satellite imagery part of the reason for that. We've got a good, strong southerly upflow of very mild air. Unfortunately, that's also leading this high, thin cloudiness toward the Hoosier State, and down in the lower reaches of that, there's some moisture available. Also, high clouds arching over the upper Midwest, where again today there were record readings. Now, let's set the stage for our current weather situation and show you what our surface map looks like. High pressure is slowly moving eastward. That's allowing the encroachment of this cold front. But the more import is that moisture that's riding up the ladder of the Mississippi Valley. And on our radar now across the country, we see that light rain has reached all the way into northern sections of Arkansas. Some thunderstorms over Louisiana down along coastal sections of Texas. The only other precip in the country, some light rain coming onshore in the Pacific Northwest, and in the higher elevations, a little light snow. You'll notice not that first drop of any precip in the eastern part of the country. And again today, we painted a few record readings for you over the upper Midwest. Everybody reporting very seasonable or unseasonably mild readings, except Gunnison, Colorado. But they expect to have 12 below zero. That was the nation's low. And at Montebello, California, they tried for 80 and settled for 78, and they were just happy to do that, I suppose. Tomorrow, the high pressure will be along the coastal sections of South Carolina, but the more import to us will be the approach of that cold front and an Arctic front letting down over the upper Mississippi Valley. We'll start out with pale sunshine, then be clouded during the day. We'll see those light showers or sprinkles gradually moving towards southern Indiana. Out here in the colder air, over the Rockies and Intermountain region, we'll see some snow and the usual Pacific Northwest rain showers. But the eastern part of the U.S. looks nice. We'll have some sunshine there. Temperatures tomorrow likely to be about 48 here in Indianapolis, 40s north of that, some 50s downstate. And today we tried for 50 and settled for 45. That was our high locally. Our low was 18, and we've had no precipitation. For the remainder of these darkness hours, it'll be fair and cold. Our low about 30 degrees. Tomorrow, pale sun early, then clouding over with a high of 48 degrees. Tomorrow night, slight chance for a few sprinkles as we turn it down to 34 for the low. And on Thursday, mostly cloudy and colder with a high of only 37. Extended outlook for Friday, cloudy, highs in the 30s. Chance of wet snow Saturday and Sunday, lows in the 20s, highs in the 30s. Now here's the outlook for Monday through Friday of next week. There's our normal high and low. And we'll be below normal here with the midsection of the country expecting much below, but down in Florida above normal. As far as precipitation, much of the country wetter than normal, except the far southwest dry. Now, the 30-day outlook from the Weather Service, mid-January to mid-February, below normal temperatures likely through much of the country, and we expect near normal precipitation. The southeast will be wetter than usual. Here's your travel weather tomorrow. And only Louisville is as sure as they can be that they're going to get light rain there, but there will be some light rain moving up from the south. I think we won't see more than a sprinkle here, if that much.
And the cold weather should get here by the weekend.
Coming in.
Okay, thank you, Stan. Coming up, Ed Harding Sports has Pacer highlights right after this.
You know, this is Walt Disney World. But so is this. And this. Walt Disney World. A vacation within a vacation. It's the world's greatest resort.
This is the year to see the world, Walt Disney World.
Every day, the average American hears more than 1,000 commercial messages. Most of them go in one ear and out the other. But there's one event that's too big to ignore, with drastic reductions on all floor samples, one-of-a-kinds, and new overstocked items.
Highland's chain-wide inventory blowout.
Where this programmable VHS video recorder with wireless remote is just $217.
Highland's inventory blowout. Everything's priced to sell on site.
Oh, one more thing.
Sale ends Saturday.
Feast your eyes on new Bunt Brand pineapple cream cake.
You caught my eye, you look so fine. How I want you to be mine, oh my. You put me in a spin, it's true. I've got a passion for you.
Lose yourself in the embrace of creamy filling and tangy pineapple topping, only in a Bunt Brand cake mix.
I've got a passion for you.
Pillsbury. Desserts with a passion.
The Boys Club fills after-school hours with fun and growth activities. For information about your local Boys Club, call 632-6221.
Now it's time for sports. Pacers back home tonight after a long road trip. Unfortunately, the 76ers are the team they got to play.
Debbie has in her hands the NBA All-Star ballot, and you can punch out the Pacers tonight. When you're at home against an Eastern team, you have to win. They stink out the joint, honestly, folks. Pacers lose the game to the 76ers, 101-94. And I'm telling you, honestly, this game was not as close as the score indicates. Pacers in white, Sixers in red. Roy Hinson, the jam, he has 8. Philadelphia leads at 38-29. Pacers run off 10 straight. Kyle Macy with the jumper, he has 4. Philadelphia's lead is down to 1 point, but there was a particular point late in the first quarter where the Pacers went over 5.5 minutes without a field goal. That's effectively where they lost the game. David Wingate with a layup. He has 14 points in 16 minutes. Wingate, look at him hustle, outrun Walker Russell down the length of the floor. Sixers by 6 at half. The Doc to Maurice Cheeks for a lane. 18 points, 8 assists for Cheeks. Finest point guard in the game, huh? 62-50 with 8:25 left in the quarter. Wayman Tisdale with the dunk. Wayman has 12 points in 40 minutes. Philadelphia's defense superb this evening. They don't have the height in terms of they're just getting Hinson back, but they have Charles Barkley. He had 33 points and 15 rebounds. Sixers by 10. Fourth quarter, Herb Williams with a jumper. He has 18. Philadelphia's lead, 86-77. Barkley with a three-pointer. That made it 97-83. Finals 101-94.
Well, everybody played well. It was a total team effort. You know, we've had spurts all year where one guy played well and everybody hasn't played well. But tonight it was a total effort by everybody.
Excellent effort indeed. Meanwhile, in New Jersey, Boston in green, New Jersey in white. Shot of the night, Albert King from a little more than half court. However, pass of the night from Larry Bird. Look at the awareness of this gentleman. Can you believe that? Darren Day almost blew the shot. 123-117, Celtics win the game. In Detroit and Cleveland's game, Detroit is in blue, Cleveland's in white. Isaiah Thomas seizes control of the game with about a minute and a half to go. That field goal put Detroit ahead to stay, and the following field goal we'll show you with the game clock in the corner is the one that caps the game. 103-101, Detroit beats Cleveland tonight. And the star in New York is Dallas's Rolando Blackman. He's in green, as are his Dallas mates. He has 41 as Dallas beats the Knicks by 5. Pacers with the loss tonight fall on their record to 17-18. You saw the Celtics game, Dallas 108-103. Pacers, though, still have the 8th best record in the East after play tonight because Cleveland, New Jersey, and New York all lost. Sacramento and Milwaukee, that's a final. Milwaukee wins. And Houston, 118-100 over Phoenix. But the biggest story out of Houston, 2 Rockets, Mitchell Wiggins and Lewis Lloyd, have been banned from the NBA for at least 2 years and most likely forever. They tested positive for cocaine. You know, all pro leagues talk tough about drugs, but only the NBA backs it up. High school basketball, let's go around county tournament. First highlights, we'll stop at Ben Davis and Brebeuf. Harris and Foreman and Graves work the basketball. Ben Davis in the white. They score inside. For Ben Davis, Foreman gets the jump shot here. This is Gail Toll's team. You heard from him live at 6 o'clock, wanting to be primed, wanting to be perfect for this county tournament. That's Foreman. Jeff Bosnott will get the jumper from the baseline. He's number 34 who squares, and nice follow-through, hits the jumper. Watch the pass. Davis, crisply to Graves. Ben Davis, 54-40, a winner tonight over Brebeuf. Highlights of Warren Central and Franklin Central. Jeff George and his dad on hand to watch Warren play. J.J. Totten takes the pass inside and hits the 5-footer for Warren Central. They're in the yellow or their gold uniforms tonight against Franklin. Ryan Crafton brings Franklin Central back within 1 with his 15-foot shot. With 4 seconds to go in the game, Warren's Devin Davis at the line. Misses the front end of a 1-on-1. Franklin rebounds and Crafton misses at the buzzer. Warren wins 47-46. What a thrilling climax. Highlights of North Central in white against Park Tudor in their dark. Eric Montross inside. He gets the field goal, and they're down by 20 at that field goal. John Carter with the steal and the basket here. He is number 12 in white for North Central. And Tony Barbie will culminate the drive as the ball goes the length of the floor quickly. North Central is a 57-30 win over Park Tudor. Meanwhile, as the shot goes back, highlights of Lawrence North and Perry Meridian. Off the missed Perry in white shot. Nate Phillips goes the length of the court for 2 Lawrence North points. Again off the miss. Perry's Dion Ferguson goes up twice, and he finally puts it in. Going up twice, he finally puts it in, puts it up. And then Lawrence's Derwin Webb goes up strong, is fouled, he hits the layup. 87-73, Lawrence North is a winner tonight. I can tell you at Lawrence Central that Beech Grove and Lawrence Central won there tonight.
Is there any basketball being played tonight?
No,
all over the place.
Thanks. Back right after this.
Chuck Woolery talks about Love Connection.
The people that come on Love Connection hold nothing back. It seems that they have no inhibition at all. When I feel like somebody is trying to withhold information from me that I think could possibly be vital to what's going on, then I go hunting. You know, it's fun even when it doesn't work out, but it's great when it does.
Love Connection, a new chance for romance every day.
Weekdays at 5 on Wish TV.
I've been called a pizza freak. Ridiculous. I'm a real pizza freak. Only eat Noble Roman's pizza. Real fresh ingredients. None of that artificial or frozen stuff. Hey, is that lunch or dinner? Break time!
Get any Noble Roman's real pan pizza for $2 off a medium, $3 off a large. Really. Noble Roman's, real pizza for real pizza freaks.
Snack time. Oh!
If you've never ever seen a GE personal-size portable TV for only $133, you've never ever seen a sale like this sale. Now, for one day only, Wednesday only, save on appliances, TVs, and stereo, only at Fredder's. If you've never ever seen a Sony multi-storage multi-play cassette deck with auto-reverse for just $177, you've never ever seen a sale like this sale. Wednesday only. Fredder is better, and it all starts with low prices.
So long, Syncor. Leaving Lexon? Bye-bye, Vasigran. Hello, Scepter. You outperform Syncor and Lexon with better weed control and better crop safety. You control weeds like cocklebur and velvet leaf all season long to eliminate the need for Vasigran. So for better broadleaf weed control this year, incorporate new Scepter herbicide. Scepter gives you sure, safe, season-long control.
There has been an explosion on the Indianapolis west side. Our Liz Daly is there now with a live eye report. Liz?
Mike and Debbie, what you're looking at right now is a house that was completely leveled on the near west side in the 1800 block of North Sharon. It believes the address is 1827 North Sharon. What we know right now is that one man is dead. He was found in the living room. The victim is still inside the house. Arson investigators are on the scene. They're not speculating right now what caused the explosion, but Charles Smith was a witness to the incident here, and can you tell me just quickly what you saw?
What I saw was a typical house that just the whole front of the part blew up. Me and 2 other guys came around inside and broke out windows and kept asking for people if they was there. We couldn't get no answer, and the whole house just went to an inferno.
Okay, Charles Smith, thank you very much. Of course, we'll give you more details through our newscast tomorrow. Mike, Debbie?
Okay, Liz, thank you. Our time is up. We'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you.
Next, ex-good friends go to court.
She didn't want Tommy or Bobby to know that she was paying me to move. She says Tommy would have her committed.
Did you want Tommy to know that you were paying $1,000
Would
for
my
the move?
son have me committed?
Please don't answer a question with a question.
No, certainly not.
Just answer me.
Certainly not.
Just answer. Not?
No.
Tomorrow at 5:30 on Wish TV.
It's a long, hard swim through a bitter sea of alcohol. It can take the drinker to the blind depths. It can take you with him unless you pull him out for good. With the help of the Anderson Center, both of you can recover for life. The Anderson Center in Anderson. Call us now in complete confidence, because nothing is more intoxicating than life.
Guess who's fixing to take your mouth to catfish heaven?
Long John Silver's is serving up the down-home catfish meal. Coleslaw, French fries, hush puppies, the whole deal. We're gonna put a hole down in your mouth with sweet, tender catfish, warm raised in the South. So when you're hungry for a genuine catfish dish, try the folks who know fish. Long John Silver's sounds good to me.
Since he's been in charge of our double money back meat returns, he hasn't had much to do. It's really no surprise. If our meat wasn't so terrific at Kroger, more people would be keeping Max busy. But since we have such confidence in the quality of all our meat, we don't think he'll be dissatisfied. Kroger's double money back meat guarantee. You know, we'll just about guarantee you'll never have to use it.
See the difference. Go Krogering.
Poor Max.
Hey! You know you're cute, but you're not my type. Jocks!
Want a winning team?
I want you up and out of here. We got a match in an hour.
You do ain't going nowhere.
Jocks, I want to show you something I'm real proud of. Oh my God! Jocks, these champions aren't born. They're made. They're degenerates.
I love it.
Jocks, rated R.
Starts Friday at a theater near you. Check newspaper for times.
If your new clothes look limp and lifeless after you wash them, use a little magic sizing to keep them looking crisp and new. Just spray on magic sizing. It even makes ironing smoother and easier. Best of all, magic sizing adds comfortable, crisp body to your clothes without adding the stiffness of starch. So, put the body back into your clothes with magic sizing and make your clothes look their best. Magic sizing, the ironing aid that adds body to your clothes without the stiffness of starch. Most people don't choose to go to a hospital. I do. I selected nursing as my career and St. Vincent as my hospital. When St. Vincent Carmel opened, something special was created. A hospital of technical excellence, but also an environment of very real thoughtfulness and care. So when your doctor sends you to St. Vincent Carmel Hospital, you are entering one of the finest hospitals in Indiana, and we'll be here, bringing special care closer to your home.
We're a small town, homegrown, made the way you make your own pizza.
Tombstone.
Ladled on and loaded up with lots of mozzarella on the pizza.
Tombstone.
We pile on the goodness. We load it with real cheese.
We're sure the taste of Tombstone's gonna please your family. We're a small town, homegrown, made the way you make your own pizza. Tombstone. Made the way you make your very own. Tombstone.
Jim Mitchell's eyes, intensely green, slightly astigmatic, according to doctor's exam. Prefers scratch-resistant plastic lenses with bronze wire frames. Jim Mitchell's eyes, corrected, handsome, and proud. Pearl knows how glasses work. Pearl cares how glasses look. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
Of all the movies you can see this year, only one has been acclaimed by every single critic. Vincent Canby of the New York Times calls it a singular achievement, exceptionally moving. A great movie, 2 big thumbs up, say Siskel and Ebert. Mike Clark of USA Today gives it 4 stars as the year's most powerful film. See the one David Denby of New York Magazine calls a great American movie, Platoon, rated R.
Starts Friday, January 16th at a theater near you. Check newspaper for showtimes.
To make room for new merchandise, Rent-A-Center has red-tagged our previously rented merchandise to move now. Buy for cash or rent-to-own brand names at incredible savings. Find TVs, VCRs, and stereos red-tagged to move now. Appliances red-tagged to move now. Furniture red-tagged to move now. Get great cash buys or rent-to-own deals, but quantities and selection are limited. So when do you need to get here? Now. Rent-A-Center. Count on us for a great deal.